What is up, party people? It is New Year's Eve. It is D to the J with a roll away. And you know what? I'm doing a special broadcast tonight live on the Disability Global broadcast. I'm live on Facebook. I have not been live in a long time because for the last 9.5 days, my mother has had use of my spare room. So therefore, I have not been able to access my computer, and I really, have taken a break from all of social media really for the past, I would say, 2 weeks or so. As I've said before, my show is going to start airing again on January 5th, and I want to come on and I want to talk a little bit about going into 2022 and what to expect from me. Now, this video, I want to be honest. I want to be transparent, and I want to be very real, just like all of my other videos are. But I want to talk about something that I really, honestly, to say the least, I really honestly didn't expect to talk about. And I asked Miss Winnie if I could do this, and she gave me permission. So again, I'm very thankful to be able to come up here and spend a little over an hour with you guys. But I want to talk about the new year coming up. I want to talk about what to expect from me, and I want to talk about some things that you might not have thought of, or maybe you have, and we can talk about them together. Um, One of the first things I want to talk about is, I did a video about 4 years ago called the self test, and um, thank you very much. That I appreciate that. Thank you, um, Dora. I'm glad to have you. I look at this my self test. Every year I do an evaluation of myself. But to truly evaluate yourself, you have to be honest with yourself as far as because and that is hard for some people, and some people look at it and go, I'm gonna just give myself an A because I'm just that way. What I'm not is a fake. I will never be a fake person. I can't fake my way through something. If I don't feel it, I don't do it. Um, a lot of people, have a lot of friends on Facebook, and a lot of people rely on social media to get their information. They stay glued to Facebook. They post things. You've heard me say this before. Everything is not for everybody. With that being said, I want to take a minute and say thank you to all of those who texted me, who called me, who came by, who sent me emails, who sent me gifts for Christmas and for my birthday. My 40th birthday was yesterday, and it actually I didn't do much. Everybody asked, "What'd you do for your birthday? What'd you do for your birthday? Did you go anywhere?" When you have 9 days of family in your house and you have people in your house all the time, I love my mama. I love my brother. Sometimes you just got to chill, to be honest. And that's what I had to do on my birthday. I was able to see Miss Winnie on my birthday. I got a lot of neat stuff for Christmas. It was very nice to have family over for Christmas. It wasn't all great, and I'll be honest, it wasn't all great. There was a lot of tension that didn't need to be there. There was a lot of bull that didn't need to be there to keep it clean for the Disability Global broadcast listeners out there. And see, I'm not a person to take things lightly, so to speak. I don't I don't really go around, with my mouth cashing checks that my butt can't cash. I'm not going to say something unless I do it. See, part of my life and part of my existence is my word is my bond, and I've always said I try very hard to keep it that way, no matter what year it is. I learned something, and there's a phrase that I want to say out loud that my brother said. Um, early in the visit, we were talking. We went to the park, and we were sitting around watching the seagulls fly over, hoping they didn't poop on my car. We got a little bit of lunch, and we're sitting there talking. And one of the things that he said that you very rarely find out who people are until it's too late. People aren't who they say they are. Now, when he was talking about this, we were talking about something totally different as to how it came about. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Um, I literally, I kind of tucked that phrase away after he said it, because I have found that everybody to a certain degree puts on a false front, because but when the false front becomes so false that you end up trying to convince yourself that you're not something that you are, and you think other people can't see it. You see, that's when I get a little irritated. Okay, when you tell me something, or a person tells me something and they don't do it, not because they don't want to, but because they just don't. I understand. I've said things before, like, I understand things come up. I understand issues come up. I understand that in a lot of situations I rely on people, okay, because I don't drive myself personally, and I understand that. But coming into 2022, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I am not going to change who I am. I am not going to change who I am for anybody, because number one, I don't have to, because I like who I am. I am going to continue to do what I say I'm going to do. I am going to stand my ground, no pun intended, with all six wheels firmly planted in place. I am an individual that relies heavily on honor and respect. But I'm going to say this too. That is not given out. That is earned. So I want you to understand where I'm coming from and what I'm talking about. Going into 2022, this is not a New Year's resolution. I don't like New Year's resolutions, because half of people in this world, they say them, and within 2 weeks to 6 months, they break them. Classic example, I'm going to lose weight. Classic example, I'm going to make more money. Classic example, I'm going to eat better and eat healthier. I'm going to stay away from this. I'm going to stop smoking. And within 2 weeks to 6 months, you break it. One of the things, I have 4 goals for 2022, and I'm going to share these 4 goals with you as I'm talking. My first goal is to be realistic. Okay? I I enjoy doing my shows. I enjoy having guests. I enjoy interviewing people. I enjoy everything about My CP Does Not Define Me, Chairmaster Games, Worth the Wait, Cooking with DJ Carter. But I want to explain something here. And I don't know if I've ever sat down and said this out loud. Hey, Jenny, how are you? I don't know if I've ever explained this. If you have a disability and you want to be on my show, that does not mean that you are going to be on my show. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Happy New Year to you as well. Let me say that again. If you have a disability, if you have cerebral palsy, if you have spina bifida, if you have MS, if you have Lou Gehrig's disease, if you have no limbs, and you want to be on my show, that does not necessarily guarantee you to be on my show. Okay. I have an interview with guests that are going to be on my show on Sunday evenings for a reason. Because I filter out crap. I don't have time for crap. Okay. And if you say and you watch my show and I ask you a question about my show and you can't answer it, and it's not a hard question, and it shows me that you don't watch it, and you tell me you see, that's don't lie to me. My show is on my Facebook page every Wednesday at 2 p.m. and it's also on my YouTube channel. My CP does not define me. It's also on my Twitter. On my Instagram. My CP does not define me if it's not over an hour. Some of the episodes I haven't been able to put on Instagram because they're over an hour. But my show is on YouTube. My CP does not define me. It's on my Facebook page, DJ Carter Jr., and it's also on my Instagram. My CP does not define me. So you can find it there Wednesdays at 2 p.m., and it's also on disabilitybroadcast.com. Goodness gracious. Global Disability DGB, Disability Global Broadcast.com every Wednesday at 2 p.m. So that's basically where you can find it. But here's the thing. I have people ask me, can I be on your show? Can I be on your show? And I have an open mind to have people on my show. But if you can't answer questions and you can't have a conversation with me honestly, you're not going to be on my show. Okay? And if I tell you no, and then you want to continue to tell your friends that he didn't let me on the show because that's I don't have time for BS. I have you're welcome. I have a lot of people that think that my show is just so they can talk. My show is to uplift others and bring notoriety to cerebral palsy and different disabilities across the world. My show is about people sharing their stories to uplift and help others. My show is not so you can get up here and run your mouth. That's not what my show is about. Okay? I'm looking inside of the person when I interview you. I'm not interviewing you just to ask you questions and see how you answer. I'm watching, listening, learning, seeing how you react. I've gotten a lot of questions about independence and disability. I'm working on a broadcast for independence and disability. I'm looking at possibly branching out a little further with independence and disability. I'm going to go into that a little later on into the show. I have some things that I'm working on. I'm continuing to work on my TikTok. I have not launched that yet. Worth the Wait Cooking with Carter still being launched. Yeah, I agree. Not to showcase on ego, Crystal. That's exactly right. And I do my show for people, about people. But if it's not going to uplift and show where we're going to go, my goal is to move forward. Okay. Now, I told you I had 4 goals. Really, I have 5 that I want to share in this show. Okay. My first one is to continue to be DJ. Now, a lot of people are gonna look at that and say, "Wait a minute, why is that a goal?" Okay, because believe it or not, I have a lot of people out there that don't like who I am. Okay, I have a lot of people out there that try to downplay it, that say my show is not what it should be. Okay, but again, it's not about them. Okay, I don't do the show for them. That's not what this show is about. Okay, my job as a radio personality, which was given to me That title was given to me by Edwina Wilson, and I've been doing this long enough to know that I am one because I've earned it. Okay. I've put in the time, I've put in the effort, and I've put in the hours on the radio. But my show is about breakthrough. My show is about when nobody sees the light and they're surrounded by darkness, in that moment they have that breakthrough because they watched an episode of My CP Does Not Define Me that made them realize they could, they should, and they are. So I'm going to continue to be DJ as I see who DJ should be, not other people. Not other people. I am not looking at other people going, what should I do? Okay. The people in my inner circle, I will ask that question, what should I do? The ones that I know that lift me up and that bring me to where I need to be, those people I will ask that question. But the other naysayers out there that look and say, hey, your show is this and your show is that, you are entitled to your opinion. Okay. Everybody has an opinion. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I have to value what you say if you're going to be negative. Now, I had a new individual say that you can't disregard all negative things. Yes, you can. Because you can find positive in almost every negative situation. Okay. 2, and I want to say this out loud, and I want to say this personally. I am not in this for money. Okay? My goal when I first started this show was not about money. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to make it. Doesn't mean that good things are not going to happen. But this show to me is not about money. This show is about people and voices being heard. I've also been told that to be a leader, you have to know how to follow as well. And I've said before, and several people have had opinions on this and made me feel very, very good. I've never really seen myself as a leader. But apparently I became one very quickly. Okay. And that is partly because of my family. That is partly because of Edwina Wilson. That is partly because of Kelly's Choice. That is partly because of the decisions that I have made in my life to continue to grow. Okay. That is the second goal in 2022, to continue to grow my brand of My CP Does Not Define Me. See, My CP Does Not Define Me is not just a show. I don't represent just DJ Carter and My CP Does Not Define Me. I represent the Disability Global Broadcast and Edwina Wilson and Kelly's Choice. I represent thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are too afraid to speak, who are too afraid to say anything at all because they don't know where they're going to go from point A to point B. So my second point, my second goal is to continue to grow this brand. See, it took me a long time to realize what a brand really was, what a brand really is, and how powerful this brand is. And again, I mentioned her name several times. Edwina Wilson showed me why this is a brand, what needs to happen for the brand to grow, and how the brand needs to grow. See, I had to take a long reflection about 2021. Okay? And what I did in 2021 that I liked, and what I did in 2021 that I didn't like. Okay? You guys have heard me say this before. Sometimes you got to weed out your garden. Sometimes you got to clean out your closet. Sometimes you got to clean out yourself. Now, that is not one that a lot of people look at and say, wait a minute, clean out myself. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? When you ask, that question, my Instagram handle is mycp does not define me. When you ask that question, that is the honesty that I'm talking about. See, it's like I did when I did my last funny video about common sense. A lot of people have it, but a lot of people don't use it. That is the same difference. That is the same difference as being able to know the difference from right and wrong. You can know the difference from right and wrong and choose not to do it. See, the problem with that is when you decide to make a decision, you have to be responsible for your actions. And the decisions that you make right now reflect the rest of your life. And they reflect the rest of your life because those are your decisions that you're making. Okay? Now, a lot of people are influenced by others. And you've got to be very, 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 very careful about other people. Because even though other people seem like they're in your corner, the second you get in trouble or the second you get dragged down, they're one to point fingers and they're one to turn their backs and say you did it. I don't want influencers in my corner. I want uplifters. I want people that rely on faith and don't rely on just what they see. Okay? I want people that don't just say. I want people that do. I want you guys to understand this. To grow a brand, you have to believe in what you have. And you have to have a vision. In order for there to be a 2020, in order for there to be a 2022, you have to see that vision in 2022 or it doesn't happen. If you don't see it and you don't have that goal in mind, you're not going to set that vision and you're not going to go after it. So I said, my first goal was to be DJ 100%, not to let people influence me to be otherwise. My second goal for 2022 is to continue to grow the brand of My CP Does Not Define Me. My third goal of 2022, and this is a big one. I'm going to get rid of the crap I don't need. And I'm being honest with you folks. You ever see your house? You got a 5-bedroom house, and you lived in that house for 30 some years, and you wonder how you got so much crap: 3 tables, 5 lawn chairs, 12 lawnmowers, 6 weed whackers. You got jeans that don't fit. You got shoes you don't wear. You got clothes that are too small. Oh, and you got books you don't read. And you got games you don't play. And you got all these things. You got a bunch of crap in your life that you don't need. But so many people hold on to that stuff. So many people continue to be the pack rat and pack it in, and they don't clean out their lives. They don't get rid of the crap they don't need. That is where life starts to bring you down. I don't need 5,000 friends on Facebook. Okay? I don't need to max that out. I'm not looking to do that. The 604 friends I have on Facebook are people that I know. If I don't know you and I haven't talked to you, I'm not going to add you to my Facebook profile. I'm not going to add you to my Facebook profile just because you ask me. I don't do things just for show. I don't do things just to look good. I am good inside here. It is not about the people that are on my Facebook. It is about what is in my house is exactly what I need. Because I'm going to tell you something, guys. All that crap that you've got, when you're gone, you can't take it with you. A lot of people look at possessions and say, I have. I have the 1965 Corvette. I have the PS5, the PS4, the PS3, the PS2, the PS1. I have. But you can't take it with you. See, that's the problem. You cannot take it with you. You can build that house up and you can build that garden up and you can build that crap up that you don't need. But here's the thing. You can't take it with you when you're gone. And that is the issue, folks. That is why I say in my 3-bedroom apartment, I'm going to get rid of the crap I don't need to make room for what I do. I'm going to get rid of the crap I don't need to make room for what I do. Let me ask you guys a question, women especially, ladies. How many pairs of shoes can you wear at one time? How many pairs of shoes can you wear at one time? I know a lady that has 619 pairs of shoes. You think I'm joking? I know a lady, I ain't gonna say no names. I know a lady that's got 619 pairs of shoes. What in God's name do you need 619 pairs of shoes for? Well, they match my outfit. Look, you need a black pair, a red pair, and a blue pair. Everything else white. Everything else goes with everything else. You don't need 619 pairs of shoes. You don't need 12 coats. Okay? Look, and I know what you're thinking. How in the world are you going to tell me what I don't need? I'm going to ask the same question with the coat question. How many pairs of pants do you need to wear at one time? How many dresses do you need to wear at one time? How many hats do you need to wear at one time? Now let me explain something. Having some is not bad. Having a bin full, having 2 bins full is not bad. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying you can't have hats and shoes. But what I'm saying to you folks is you don't need an over excess. But you got to be the one to see that you got to weed out some of the stuff you don't need. That's like I said, I don't need the people to tell me what to do in my life. I need uplifters. Okay? I need people with vision. That's why Edwina Wilson's in my life. That's why Edwina Wilson's in my life. That's true. That's true, Miss Winnie, but you don't need 6 closets full of them. I agree. But I don't think people need 6 closets of clothes. I know a lady that's got so many clothes and still got the tags on them and ain't worn and going to go buy more. What in the world you still got stuff with the tags on them that you ain't worn and you going to go buy more? Look, all I'm saying is evaluate what you have in your life, get rid of the crap you don't need to make room for what you do. So be the best DJ that I can be. Grow my brand. Get rid of the crap I don't need to make more room for what I do need. Four. This is a big one, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me. Broaden my horizons to expand my vision. Let me say that one again. Broaden to expand. Broaden my horizons to expand my vision. And I love, because Edwina has said this, if your dreams don't scare you, They're not big enough. You see, to broaden your horizons, a great man once told me, if you don't go anywhere or do anything, all you are is stuck in the same spot you've always been in. Listen to me, folks. If you don't go anywhere or you don't do anything, all you're doing is staying in the same spot you've always been in. There are not many things that Miss Wilson and myself don't agree on. But the one thing I know that she has always done and she's very good at, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to be pushed out of your comfort zone. When I realized that Miss Winnie pushed me out of my comfort zone, that is when I realized I needed her in my life all the time. Because she doesn't push me out of my comfort zone all the time. She is with me, but she's there to nudge me in the right direction. I'm not saying push you off the cliff. But she talked about me driving. She talked about me expanding my horizons, to broaden my vision, to make my brand grow. You see, all of these goals are wrapped around. Understand that? All these goals are wrapped around. They have got to be, your goals have got to be related to your vision. Now, the fifth goal is going to scare you. The fifth goal is going to scare you because it scares me. My fifth goal is to move into my house. I know the house I want. I know the house I need. I know what my house looks like. I know how many rooms it's going to have. I know where it's going to be. I know what's going to be around it. And you know how I learned how to do that? From the lady sitting right here on this broadcast. My fifth goal is to speak my goals into existence. You guys have got to understand one thing. Words are powerful, phrases are powerful, but belief and faith in God is the best goal of all. Now, that's what works for me. And I said this show is about my vision into 2022. My vision doesn't have to be yours. But speaking those things that are not as though they are is part of growing your vision and part of growing yourself. You know, when I said earlier in the show, sometimes you got to clean out your garden. Sometimes you got to clean out your closet. Sometimes you got to clean out your car. Sometimes you got to clean out yourself. Because we all get dirty. We all leak. We cannot stay full all the time. Sometimes we have to refuel. We have to fill back up. And when you claim something, be bold in claiming it. Miss Edwina Wilson is one of the boldest, most powerful people I know. And I'm not saying that to say she has powers beyond belief. I'm not saying that she can, lift 6 cars with one arm, but I bet she could. She got mad enough. I'm just saying that I have noticed that Miss Wilson is very bold when she goes after something. And she has to be, because if you don't believe it, you're not going to achieve it. You understand how simple that phrase is? If you don't believe it, you're not going to achieve it. If you don't have faith in it, you're not going to move forward on it. So why can't you do the things you do? Because you don't believe in yourself enough. You know, I have said 1,000 times, you've heard me say, know your worth. You've heard Mr. Wilson say, know your worth. You've heard Miss Winnie say, know your worth. That is such a powerful statement, but why? Do so many people sit there and wonder when things are going to happen for them? Instead of wondering, stop wondering, get up off your butt, start claiming it, and start making it happen. See, boldness is not cockiness. There's a difference in boldness and cockiness. You have to be bold in going after what you want and walking in faith and believing in yourself. Understand? See, this is all reflection. I'm not going to say 21. Excuse me. I'm not going to say 2021 was bad. I'm not going to say 2021 was a bad year for me, because it wasn't. 2021 was a great year for me because I learned things about myself and about other people. I learned that I make mistakes. I learned it's okay to make mistakes. I learned if you have a problem, handle it yourself. I learned that hindsight will bite you in the butt. But I had to learn that and understand it. It's being confident in yourself that has nothing to do with being cocky. That I love that. See, I didn't realize that there were parts of 2021, there were parts of 2020 that I wasn't confident within myself. It's not because I did something wrong. It's because we leak. Understand, we're not confident all the time. We're not confident all the time. We're not happy all the time. It's okay not to be okay. But the problem there is you can't stay in that position. I am going to start speaking my goals in existence, because even on this show, I already have. I will have a 5-bedroom house with 1,500 square feet with 3 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms, and a garage, and I will have it between $800 and $1,000 a month. I will have my house. That is the house that I am going to receive. I know it. I believe it. I claim it. I've seen it. It's going to happen. That is not cockiness. That is confidence. I believe that my CP does not define me is going to be one of the biggest shows in the United States of America. And the world is going to know about my CP does not define me. Not just certain states. Everybody's going to know. Everybody's going to know. Because you know what? Everybody deserves a chance to be uplifted. Everybody deserves to be uplifted. I'm going to drive again. I don't care what the medical reports say. I don't care about how many wrecks I've gotten into. All that crap I let go. That was up here. That was up here. I had to get rid of the crap that I didn't need to make room in my mind for the positive to move in and say, DJ, you can drive again because you've done it. You've done it. I've went around my complex. If I can go around my complex, I can go down the damn street. I mean, it's simple as that. Look, we put obstacles and we put fear in front of ourselves. Okay? Understand, we mess ourselves up because we are our biggest critics. Stop blaming and shaming. Stop all that stuff. You got to get here and here right first. Because it always starts with you. Stop blaming everybody else for your stuff. It always starts with you. 2022 starts with you. So, what are you going to do to make 2022 great? Are you going to be the person that you were born to be? Are you going to grow your brand? Are you going to expand your horizons to grow your vision? Are you going to speak things into existence? Are you going to get rid of the crap you don't need to make room for what you do need? And most of all, folks, are you going to believe in yourself? Nobody is going to do it for you. 2022 starts tomorrow. But your vision has been there long since before tomorrow. Stop looking at your vision as a vision and start making your vision a reality. There is nothing you can't do. I'm not sure who needs to hear this right now, but there's somebody sitting out there that's wanted to do something for so long, and all you need to know is that you can do it. But it's not because I said it. It's because you've had the ability the whole time. It's not because it's 2022. It's because your vision starts with you. Your vision starts with you. You can make it happen. Don't worry about what others tell you. Don't worry about when they push you down. It's not how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get back up. It's not how many times you get kicked in the teeth. It's how many times you kick back. It's not how many times you get told no. It's the one time you get told yes. There is no such thing as failure. Failure is just another way to get things done on another path. We all have a path to get somewhere, but we ain't got to take the same path to get there. So please understand your vision in 2022 starts with you. It's okay to fall. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to have to dig a little bit. It's okay to have to bleed. It's okay to cry. It's okay to yell. It's okay to scream. But you got to move forward. You can't live in the past because when you are living in the past, you're not able to see your future because you're blinded by your past. Stop living in the past. Stop worrying about what happened before in 2021. They call it a new year for a reason. Don't make it a new year. Make it a new vision and start with yourself. Start with yourself. Dig for it, go for it, live for it, believe in it. Take time. But the time is now. The time is right now. You've been sitting on your butt so long and you've been waiting on people to make it happen for you. People ain't going to make it happen for you. I'm going to 4 karate tournaments in 2022. I don't have a school right now. But you know what? I don't care. I'm going to compete in 4 tournaments this year, 2022, and I'm going to be a grand champion again. Why? Because I believe it. Because I'm speaking it. Because it's going to happen. I will be a grand champion in 2022. I will have my house by the end of this year or before. And I will expand my brand. I will have the right people in my life. And if you're one of those crappy people, I'm sorry, but I got to cut you out. And if you got to ask me why did I cut you out, you're asking the wrong question. You got to claim it, believe it, and go after it. I don't do 4 tournaments a year. That's a lot. But you know what? I'm going to do a lot this year. House, tournament champion, driving, succeeding, public speaking. It's all happening this year. I'm not letting what if it doesn't end. I'm not letting that in here. There is no what if it doesn't. There is when it does. That's it. That's it. I'm taking the serpent's head, putting it under my foot, and crushing it. You understand what I'm saying? You got to come to a point in your life where you're realizing all the negative stuff that happened, you need to put underneath you and walk over top of it. Find the positive and the negative, and you gotta dig for it. Nobody said it's going to be easy. If anything was easy, everybody could do it. It's going to happen for me in 2022. The only question is, will you be along for the journey or won't you? That's the only question. And the persons that go with me on my journey, I decide. I'm going to tell you, Miss Wilson going to be right in the front seat with me. Mr. Wilson, Kelly's Choice, her family, everybody, they right in the front seat. I got a big front seat, y'all. I got 12 people in my front seat. Y'all think Miss Wilson ain't gonna be with me? Y'all crazy. I will. See, y'all gotta understand. If I'm in a dark corner, I'm gonna have Miss Wilson with me. I'm gonna have Mr. Wilson with me. If I'm in a place where something don't feel right, I'm gonna have those two with me. Because I know what they're capable of. But you know what the difference of 2022 is? I know what I'm capable of. Y'all see that? That's the difference. That's the difference. I appreciate that, Charles. I really do. Thank you. Understand. I'm here for y'all too, but I ain't dealing with negative stuff because you know why? I ain't got time for it. A champion doesn't be a champion by being negative. A champion crushes negativity and floors it with positivity. There's a lot of good things that's going to happen for me this year, but I got a question. What's going to happen for you? When are you going to stop being negative and start being positive? When are you going to broaden your horizons to expand your vision? When are you going to be the you that you need to be? When are you going to make room for get rid of all the crap that you don't need to make room for the stuff that you do need? When are you going to start believing in yourself and know that you're worth it and know that nobody can take you down? The only person that can take you down is you. Stop taking yourself down and lift yourself up. First broadcast of 2022, My CP Does Not Define Me, is going to be January 5th at 2 p.m. Wednesday. Y'all be ready, because it's going to be a daggone good one. We're going to be live on the Disability Global broadcast. We'll be live on Facebook. Y'all get ready, because I'm kicking 2022 square in the mouth. What are you going to do? That's the question I have for you. How long is it going to take for you to stop thinking about what you want to do and start doing it? Put your faith into action. Make it become a reality. Stop it from becoming a vision and make it a reality. See it, believe it, and act on it. You've got to go for it. Be in competition with yourself and no one else. I love that. We are our own worst enemy. When I go to a karate tournament, yes, I want to win it. But do you know why I go to a karate tournament? To learn, to become a better martial artist than I was today. It's not about titles. It's not about trophies. I can win them all day long. It's about making yourself better than you were today. Make yourself better than you were today. Listen, 2022 is going to be great, but you have to make it great. 2022 is going to be great, but you have to make it great. Stop waiting for something to happen. Get up off your butt and make it happen. I'm telling you, if you believe it, achieve it, and succeed inside of it. There's nothing wrong with fear. There's nothing wrong with it. You can still do things in fear. Fear keeps you on your toes. Be scared. Do it in fear anyway, because you can. Succeed. Start right here. Right here. Get your head straight. A mind is a powerful thing. And understand that you got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Realize that you're important. Realize that you matter. Take time for self-care. Take time to step back. Take time to take a breath. But always remember, when you step back once, move forward twice. Guys, listen, thank you for being a part of this. I appreciate you being here. I'm sorry that it's been so long. I wasn't able to broadcast over the holidays, but I needed a break. I told you I was going to come back strong in 2022. I weren't lying. If you want to find me, if you want to follow me, follow me. If you want to be part of my show, if you want to be a guest on my show, email me, carterdj85@gmail.com. You can find me on YouTube. My CP Does Not Define Me. You can find me on Twitter. My CP Does Not Define Me at Minion Sports. You can find me on Instagram. My CP Does Not Define Me. You can find me on my blog, carterdj85@wix.com. 2 other YouTubes, Chairmaster Games, Worth the Wait Cooking with Carter. Let me say, I got some great stuff for Christmas. I'm going to have some banging Worth the Wait Cooking with Carter episodes. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. I got a green screen. Things are going to happen that y'all ain't ready for. I'm telling you, you're going to see things in 2022 you ain't seen. Y'all get ready, because I'm about to blow this sucker out the water. I'm letting y'all know, blowing it up, and it's going to get big, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You can either go with me or watch me pass you by. It's up to you. Up to you. And you keep doing it, Charles. You keep doing it. You keep pushing and you keep going. That's what you should do. I'm right here with you. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. This is D to the J with the roll away, saying I'll see you on January 5th in 2022. Be there, be square, because I'm going forward. The question I got for you is, where are you going? Peace, love. See y'all later.